Hello students, today we are going to do the question answers, okay? Page number 19, take out page number 19, few question answers we will do. Question number 1, give an outline of the distribution of continents and oceans of the world. That answer you will get in the first page of the lesson. The surface of the earth is composed of continents and oceans. Hydrosphere and landmass covers 71% and 29% of the earth's surface. So this line you can write this way also. Hydrosphere covers 71% and landmass covers 29% of the earth's surface. After surface, full stop. Okay, so this is number 1. Then number 2, explain why there has been change over the earth's surface. That you will get you can begin in this way. Changes take place on the earth's surface due to two factors. Point number A, two factors, then put a small dash. Then point number A, exogenic factor, and number B, endogenic factor. Or you can write number A, endogenic factor, and number B, exogenic factor. Okay, only this much enough. Then question number 3, what is meant by exogenic factor? Mention some exogenic factors. That you will get in page number 2. Second line you see. The exogenic, you will write this way. The exogenic factors are those factors which operate from outside. For example, wind, rainfall, sunshine, river, etc. Then number 4, why are earthquakes and volcanic eruption called endogenic factors? Why are earthquakes and volcanic eruption? So you will begin in this way. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are called endogenic factors because these factors operate in the earth's interior as well as in the ocean bottoms. That you will get in the 6th line of page number 2, 6th line. The endogenic factors operate in the earth's interior as well as in the ocean bottoms. But before this you will write the earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are called endogenic factors because they are these factors, because these factors, instead of endogenic again you will write because these factors operate in the earth's interior as well as in the ocean bottoms. Alright. Then number 5, what do you mean by a river basin? Draw a diagram of a river basin. A river basin you will get in page number 4. Last line you see. The basin is an area. So your question is, what do you mean by a river basin? So you write the river basin, the, instead of thus no need, you write the. The river basin is an area where from a river along with its tributaries carry water downwards. Okay. Then draw a diagram of a river basin. So Brahmaputra river basin is given. You can draw this diagram. Figure 1.03. That one you can write. The number 6 afterwards I'll give. The number 7. Give an outline of a river erosion. Give an outline of a river erosion. That I'll dictate, you write. This is short answer. Erosion is the process. Erosion is the process that wears away, W-E-A-R-S, that wears away the river bed and banks. That wears away the river bed and banks. So this is river erosion. So number 8. What do you mean by lateral erosion of a river? Lateral erosion you will get in page number 6. Page number 6. Last 5th, 6th line you see. Second last paragraph. By eroding the banks, the river widens its channel to carry the water down. Such kind of river erosion is known as lateral erosion. Your question is, what is lateral erosion? So you no need to write bend. You write only is known as lateral erosion. By eroding the banks, the river widens its channel to carry the water down. Such kind of river erosion is known as lateral erosion. Then what is Oxbow Lake? Draw diagram to show how it is formed. You can write from page number 7. Page number 7, second line. In certain parts of the plain, the river channel may be highly meandering. Such a course failed to carry huge amount of water during summer. Then the river straightens its course, leaving aside the most widening course. The cut-off part then takes the form of a lake or bill, shaped like horseshoe. This type of lake is called horseshoe lake. So if it comes for, what is Oxbow Lake? If it comes for 2 to 3 marks, then you will write this. More than 2 marks, 3 or 4, then only you will write this. And then you have to draw the diagram, because question is draw diagram to show how it is formed. So this is the diagram 1.06. So this diagram, and this is for more than 2 marks. But if it comes, if the question comes, what is an Oxbow Lake, it is for 1 or 2 marks. Then I'll dictate, you can write. An Oxbow Lake is a U-shaped lake. An Oxbow Lake is a U-shaped lake that forms FORMS, that forms when a white minder, when a white WIDE white minder, MEANDE, a minder of a river is cut off, cut off, comma, creating a freestanding body of water, creating a free standing STANDING freestanding body of water. This is for 1 or 2 marks. What is definition of Oxbow Lake? What is an Oxbow Lake? Then the diagram. So according to the marks you will write. Then number 11. Write how and where sandbars are formed in a river channel. And that you will get in page number 8. How and where. Last paragraph of page number 8. The sandbars formed of the sediments on the riverbed are significant from various points of view. Sandbars are formed both on the sides and the middle of the riverbed. The speedy flow of the river during summer affects the size and shape of the sandbars. Then one more line you can write. Sandbars are formed due to the depositional activity of a river. Okay. Number 10, what is floodplain and how it is formed. Number 10 you will get in page number 8. What is floodplain? Floodplains are, second last paragraph you see. Floodplains are alluvial plains. Floodplains are alluvial plains formed on both the banks of a river. This is what is floodplain. Then write how it is formed. As a result of, same paragraph you will get, as a result of long continued sediment deposition, alluvial plains are formed on both the banks both the banks, then full stop. Generally, during floods, sand, mud and silt carried down by the river spread out to a long distance over the banks. In course of time, plains, alluvial plains are formed on both the banks known as floodplain. Okay? Okay, today you write up to number 10. Up to number 10 today you write. Then next class I will give from 11. Alright? Okay, we'll stop today.